Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, huh? Turns out their Hollywood bullying ways didn't start, and definitely won't end, with the Justin Baldoni drama. Because guess what? Cate Blanchett just dropped the full kettle of scalding tea on them in a new interview. And when someone like Cate freaking Blanchett has dirt on you, you know it's worse than anyone even imagined.
And you always knew the bad news was coming with Todd, because he'd go, here's the thing. And he said, we're going to lose the orchestra in Dresden, and we have to do all of the conducting first. I do think there's a distinct lack of shame in society. And I think shame is very different to guilt. Guilt is very useless.
Blake didn't just try to sneak into Cate's world quietly. No, allegedly, she stole Cate's legacy and practically spat in her face when confronted. But being the queen she is, Cate didn't scream, didn't throw tantrums. She played it cool, plotting the most elegant but devastating revenge. And now, it honestly looks like Cate Blanchett might be the one to finally bring Blake and Ryan's bad behavior crashing down. So buckle up, babes, because we're about to dive deep. You have to understand, Cate and Chanel, they're iconic together. Like peanut butter and jelly. For over a decade, Cate was the face of Chanel. Elegance, prestige, heritage, everything the brand stands for.
You know, it's sometimes good to be really simple. I mean, Matisse says this fantastic thing. It's just, you know, don't try and be original. Just be simple.
Cate didn't just show up for photo ops. She walked private fittings, slayed couture shows, and even inked a multi-season contract in 2021 to lead Chanel's Women in Cinema campaign. As part of that, Chanel even commissioned a stunning black and white legacy film written by Cate's husband, Andrew Upton. It was subtle, emotional, pure cinema magic told just through expressions and body language. Everything was set, the contracts were signed, the creative team was ready. The moment was Cate's. Until Blake Lively suddenly popped up. Fans were confused. What was Blake doing there? Where was Cate?
All right, Blake Lively is out and about in the UK promoting her One Simple Favor, right? Is that the name? Yep, she's out. She's wearing this Chanel head to toe V. Here's the look in the runway.
Turns out, no drama between Cate and Chanel. No fights, no creative disputes. What happened? Calculated sabotage. Allegedly, someone at Chanel told Cate's team the campaign had changed directions, which is just PR code for you're out. Cate was completely blindsided. No warning, no explanation, and when Blake stepped out front and center, everything clicked. The worst part? They didn't even change the concept that Cate and her husband had worked so hard on. They just slapped on some glitter, threw in a few Pinterest quotes, added Blake's red lipstick, and called it a day. Even the backstage crew couldn't believe it. Stylists leaked texts saying it was never supposed to be Blake. Her team just offered Chanel a massive cross-potlergic deal too big to resist. But replacing Cate like that? It was bold. Maybe too bold. And Blake wasn't done yet. Oh no. She launched a whole campaign framing Cate as outdated, while Blake positioned herself as the fresh new face saving Chanel from irrelevance. The nerve! Then came March 2023. Chanel threw a private dinner in Paris. It was supposed to be Cate's night, a celebration where she'd premiere her husband's short film. Cate RSVP'd months in advance. Everything was ready. Then, out of nowhere, Chanel announced Blake would be the evening's honoree. Cate's film, quietly scrapped. Replaced with Blake's theme, cross-platform storytelling through beauty, film, and wellness. A total slap in the face.
Look at these, they match my outfit. Look at those nails. Wow. Aren't they incredible?
Those are amazing.
I had time for that. I literally did it while at work. It was a little chaotic.
It was worth it.
But Cate, graceful queen she is, still showed up, held her head high, tried to make the best of it. Everything was okay, until Blake opened her mouth. Blake was overheard loud enough for Cate to hear, saying she could bring something fresh to the brand, called Andrew's script beautiful but a little outdated, and the senior Chanel creative, he laughed and said, "Oh, you mean Andrew's script? Legacy doesn't sell to Gen Z." Cate was sitting just a few feet away. She heard everything. And even though she didn't cause a scene, witnesses said you could see the sadness on her face for the rest of the night. Heartbreaking. Fast forward to April 2023, and Blake's mess just got worse. Because Chanel's PR team, They forgot to scrub an article that had already been approved when Cate was still the face of the campaign. The British fashion magazine piece got published on April 16th, and it was loaded with info about Cate and Andrew Upton's original short film. It even referenced Cate's personal creative vision for the whole project. Big yikes. The article only stayed live for about 3 hours, but that was plenty of time for people to grab screenshots and blast them all over social media. And once it hit Twitter and TikTok, oh, it was game over. People immediately started dragging Blake, accusing her of stealing Cate's legacy and bullying her into silence. It turned into a full-blown PR nightmare, and Cate, she stayed silent publicly, but behind the scenes, she was plotting her most iconic clapback yet. Cate later threw the most savage shade during an acceptance speech at a low-profile humanitarian event, and even though the clip got taken down quickly, the internet already heard what she said. She dropped this bombshell. There's a difference between honoring a story and owning it like it was always yours. One builds legacy, the other builds ego. Mic drop. Meanwhile, Blake's PR team was in total panic mode. They tried to spin it, dodge it, distract from it, but it was too late. By then, the loyal Cate Blanchett fan army was in full attack mode. Every Blake post flooded with angry comments. It got so bad, a scheduled YouTube fashion talk show appearance for Blake was canceled last minute. Official excuse? Scheduling conflicts. Yeah, right. Insiders spilled the real tea. The host was preparing to grill Blake on the Cate scandal, and Blake's team nuked the interview before it could happen. Damage control was in overdrive. But no matter how hard they tried to spin it, the narrative was out of their hands now. Blake Lively's perfect polished image, cracking wide open. And while Blake was scrambling, Cate Blanchett just moved on, like the unbothered legend she is. No pity parties, no online meltdowns, no drama. She just walked away and kept winning, with her dignity fully intact. In June 2023, while Blake was busy trying to control her PR disaster, Cate Blanchett and her husband Andrew, they were back doing what they do best, real honest art. They quietly premiered an original 2-person play at the Sydney Theatre Company. No red carpets, no desperate PR blitz, just real work for real fans. The play? Originally titled Lines That Weren't Meant to Be Read. But guess what? It got renamed at the last minute to The Credit, and everyone knew exactly what that meant. A subtle but savage jab at Blake Lively, who tried to steal Cate's credit and pretend it was hers.
About much. And the more I do in a way, I think the less I know. And I've had a very eclectic and strange career that has taken me many places. But perhaps if there's any connective tissue in my career, it's the desire to know. It's the quest to unlock what it means to be human, that strange nub of fearful, joyful uncertainty that it is to be a human being. To live a creative life, it's fueled with uncertainty and doubt. It's the DNA of how you begin any project. You have to humble yourself and say, I don't know yet what I know.
Cate handled the betrayal with a grace most actresses could never pull off. Meanwhile, the internet was buzzing because the Blake vs. Cate drama exposed a pattern of Blake's behavior that people had ignored for way too long. Turns out, this wasn't Blake's first rodeo. Blake allegedly has a long history of bullying co-stars, stealing spotlights, and making castmates super uncomfortable. Behind that sweet, polished image, it's a whole different story, and the receipts started rolling in. In an old resurfaced clip, Blake made a nasty joke during an interview with her Gossip Girl co-star Leighton Meester. She joked about Leighton being born in prison and compared other castmates to monkeys in a cage. Gross.
Well, I always approach every role as a woman because I am. I don't really think about that. I do think there's a distinct lack of shame in society at the moment. I think shame is very different to guilt. Guilt is a very useless emotion. I don't know what you do with that. But shame and regret and the lessons one can learn from that I think are very powerful.
The body language from everyone? Uncomfortable as hell. But like always, they brushed it off. Blake's just being Blake, they said. But behind the scenes, insiders say Blake was actually picking on Leighton the entire time they filmed Gossip Girl. It wasn't playful. it was targeted. In fact, in 2017, the show's executive producer, Joshua Safran, even low-key admitted that Blake and Leighton didn't get along at all. And after the Cate drama resurfaced, fans finally stopped giving Blake the benefit of the doubt and Blake's bad behavior. It didn't stop with Leighton. Another former co-star, Armie Hammer, spilled tea too. He said working with Blake was a nightmare. Full diva mode. She allegedly had everything done exactly how she wanted, and if it wasn't perfect, tantrum. In an interview with Andy Cohen, Armie finally opened up about how traumatized he was working with her. You could tell even years later, he was still shook.
There was an article recently saying that Leighton and I were frenemies. And it's
frenemies. Is that the new term? Frenemies?
Yeah, we're friends, but we're also enemies. And it's really strange because they always want to pit women against each other. You don't hear about like Penn and Chase hating each other and being jealous and competitive.
2 seconds later.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway. Moment by me.
Remember Savannah.
It was another promise was no pet monkey. Yeah. Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them. Come on, it was a joke. Lord have mercy.
Your wardrobe? That is important. Very good.
It's very important.
This is wardrobe.
This is wardrobe. This was on the return rack. I think it was hers. So I had to go and like slip them cash to wear it today.
But wait, there's more. Insiders claim that when Blake doesn't like someone on set, she turns everyone else against them too. High school mean girl vibes. Like with Penn Badgley on Gossip Girl, Blake allegedly told the crew and cast that Penn was difficult to work with. They iced him out for weeks, until they realized Blake was full of it. So when Justin Baldoni's story dropped about Blake trying to sabotage him too, no one was surprised anymore, just disgusted. Blake allegedly tried to rewrite Justin's script without permission, and when he refused to use her version, she started threatening him, saying she'd unleash her powerful friends like Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds to back her up. Absolutely wild.
Hi, my question for Armie. On Gossip Girl, who was the biggest diva on set?
Biggest diva on set of Gossip Girl.
You can say it because it's so far away from where you are now. That show's over. I suggest that you do not pass on another question.
Thank you, Chelsea.
I wish I could take all of my passes back and use them all right now. Yeah. Let me just say, that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Really? Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here. Yeah,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So it just literally was that. Whose love interest were you?
I was Blake Lively's love interest.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Sounds
then.
like she was the problem.
It sure does, Chelsea.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Don't put words into his mouth.
Yeah. Yes. Because my foot is already there.
No, it is not.
No, yeah, continue. Sorry, it's your show.
No, please, you continue. I'm interested in what you... No, I like
Sorry.
it.
I need another drink.
Hey, Katie.
Hey, y'all are cracking me up.
And if you thought that was shady, it gets even uglier. Blake allegedly went behind Justin's back, lobbying Colleen Hoover to let her direct the next part of the movie. Mind you, Justin had a contract locking him in. The only loophole? If he got caught in a morally damaging scandal, he could lose the rights. And suddenly Blake's making moves? Super suspicious.
The shoe haven't starts with us, so I'm hoping to see you back in the double duty role.
I think there are better people for that one.
Justin.
I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Justin said he doesn't know if he'd be game to direct the next one, but perhaps Blake would. Is that something that you would entertain?
Oh, absolutely. I think that whoever decides to take charge of the next one would do it justice. And, it's a lot of people to get the same schedules together again, so we'll see.
Oh, absolutely. She's so capable of that. She is a powerhouse. She can do literally anything.
Meanwhile, Cate Blanchett stayed unbothered. She didn't scream. She didn't post cryptic Instagram quotes. She just kept winning quietly, proving real queens don't need to stoop to dirty tricks.